James Cameron is one of cinema's most well-known and most iconic directors of all time, being behind such films as Avatar, Titanic, and yes, even the Terminator franchise. But yes, as you might imagine, for someone of his calibre, to reach the position he's in today, he had to make some difficult choices in the past. And that includes the one time that he decided to sell the Terminator franchise for $1. Hello! Welcome to Brain Spill, the laziest show on the internet. My name is Tank, and who doesn't like the Terminator? It is a classic film. Released in 1984, a futuristic soldier is sent back in time from the year 2029 to stop the unstoppable cyborg onslaught and to be the salvation of humanity. This is particularly weird because 2029 is not actually that far away, and if you look at the state of technology now and having cool killer cyborg robots, we're not really even there. Or maybe we're closer than you think. The idea from the film came from the now infamous James Cameron, and when he started to pitch the film to people initially, a lot of people didn't really take him that seriously. And that was mainly down to the fact that at this point in his career, he was pretty much a nobody, so for some random person to come up to you with such an out there movie like this, I don't think a lot of people would really have given it a second thought. Prior to directing and co-writing The Terminator, Cameron directed Piranha 2: The Spawning in 1982, which was, well, something. As a matter of fact, the movie was pretty abysmal. The single directing credit wasn't really anything huge, and he needed an opportunity to get some work under his belt and to really establish himself in the industry. Hence why he decided to make a smash hit to direct and work on. However, it wasn't so much his ideas that weren't being taken seriously. Many studios actually liked the idea of The Terminator and actually wanted to buy the rights to the actual script themselves. The problem they had was they didn't really want James Cameron to be the one to actually do the directing of this film. He apparently thought of the concept and future idea for the film in a dream, which in hindsight was lightning in a bottle, given how successful the Terminator franchise has been over all these years. It's also understandable why, at the time, not many people wanted to work with Cameron as a director, due to the fact that his one and only director credit before this was a movie about killer piranhas. Yes, for him to come off a film about killer piranhas and then want to direct a film about killer robots, it's not too far for most people to probably just turn it down. But yes, people wanted the script, and only the script. This, of course, was not what he wanted. He is a director, not just a writer. And despite the fact that he was offered wads of money for his script idea, he turned them all down. He knew exactly what he wanted, and he wasn't going to let this go without him being able to be part of the directing of this film. And I mean, come to think of it, I honestly don't blame him. I mean, if you've created this is your child, this is your baby, and if you give it away to some company for them to make the film, then you've just given up the golden goose. And you can pretty much wave goodbye to any directing career. No, if anyone was going to carry out the vision of this film, it was going to be James Cameron. Cameron struck a deal with his co-writer and then partner, Gail Ann Hurd, that stated that he would sell her the complete rights to the script for the sum of $1, on the stipulation that he could be the film's director. Hurd had suggested edits to Cameron's original script and therefore got a writer's credit on the film. The deal was reached and James Cameron would get exactly what he wanted. And yeah, it went forward from there. He directed the Terminator film, and when it came out, it did okay. It only made $78 million at the box office, which, you know what, that's pretty good going. No, who am I kidding? The Terminator is a massive film. It is now a staple of the sci-fi genre, and as we all know, it is one of the films that defined that generation of theatre. The success of this movie spawned a series of other spin-offs, including other forms of entertainment, such as video games, toys, novel adaptations, and so on. He basically did the exact opposite of Steven Spielberg. Instead of making a truckload of money from the rights to the film, he sold it away for a single $1. That really must sting. And he's even commented on this in the past and said that even though he's now an incredibly successful director, this is one of his regrets, that if he could go back in time, he probably would have done it a bit differently. He would of course go on to direct the sequel, Terminator 2: Judgment Day, and also be a writer for some of the other spin-off adaptations of this film. Mainly when it came to his involvement with the Terminator video games. And when I say The video games, I mean a lot. Like, holy shit, look at this list of video games. He wrote so much. Although he's had a lot of involvement with the series and is synonymous with the Terminator, he no longer directs the movies and even went on record to comment on the fact that he's pretty much done with the Terminator. I've moved on creatively from the Terminator, so I'm not really interested in that imagery and even those ideas anymore. And I'm not sure the world is that interested either. It's run its course, I feel. This interview was done in 2009, at the same time of another film coming out around about that time. What was it now? Terminator Salvation. I remember that film. And I hope you don't, because it wasn't a very good film. I mean, that might be a little bit harsh to say, but I mean, even Arnie couldn't save it. Oh, no, wait, I remember. That was the film he wasn't in. That might be why. Arnold Schwarzenegger himself said that he apparently hated this fourth film in the franchise. Probably because he wasn't in it, but hey, we can all have an opinion, can't we? James Cameron even went on in the same interview and had a bit of a further jab at the film itself, saying the following. His persona was part of the Terminator, and when you uncouple those, you get Terminator Salvation, which is actually a fine film from a pure filmmaking standpoint. It just doesn't gel up into anything mind-blowing. Yes, because Austrian muscle is the only reason people go and see these movies. And the numbers don't lie, because at the box office, it didn't do that well. If James Cameron could give himself one bit of advice to his past self, he said it would be the following. I wish I hadn't sold the rights for $1. If I had a little time machine and I could only send back something like the length of a tweet, it'd be, don't sell. Or maybe something like invest in Bitcoin or something. I don't know. That $1 would have probably got him a bit further if he'd done that instead. Yes, of course, the decision to sell the rights to this movie did springboard his career as a director, but this multi-million-dollar idea, it really does make you wonder what would happen if he decided to simply hold on to the rights of it instead of selling it for just a single dollar. I guess we'll never know. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to be notified as soon as I upload my next video, be sure to hit the bell button. And if you've got any ideas for what topics you'd like me to discuss next, let me know down in the comments below. As always, sources used in the video will be in the description. Strange. Talking about the Terminator, I would have thought this script would have been absolutely chock-a-blocked full with references to Arnie. Well, maybe not in this script, but I can assure you I've got another video idea in the works which might just be a bit more involved. So, if you want to see it, let me know. But for now, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.